It's a buy-in from everybody, man. I think it starts with the big boys. That's why you've seen, some of the, what do you want to call it? Some of the call outs on the bench where, an Austin Matthews or a Mitch Marner or a Willie Nylander gets off the ice and just gets a bloody earful. Because back in the day, it was like, oh, they're our best players. Oh, we can't say anything to them. Or, oh, they're the ones that get us the goals. So we just let them go about it the way they want to go about it. That experiment has blown up in the lab. So it's time to go back to a more old school way of doing it. And I think it starts with those big boys, and Craig Berube is holding them accountable, like that word we've been buzzing since the moment he got hired. And if those guys start doing things the right ways, then I promise you the Lorenzes of the world and everyone else on the roster is going to have to follow suit. And honestly, it comes down to doing those things the right way. If you have a 60% chance of, pulling off this play, I'm sorry, that's not good enough. 40% chance it's going the other way in an odd man rush. Not a chance in hell, Willie. That has to be chipped behind the D-man and then chased. It has to be in their end. You can't be being fancy with it. Taking it back across your red line, that you can never, ever, ever see that again. It's just not acceptable. And I think there was a time in recent memory where that would have just gone by the wayside. No big deal. Let's not even mention it. And now it's a big earful from the big dog behind the bench. And there's a reason they're starting with the big boys, because they are the leaders and they're the ones that have to make the change first. And yeah, I think that'll lead to doing the right things, not giving up that one bad goal in the big game, not losing to, like, with those habits are gone. You don't lose to Columbus anymore. You don't ever lose to San Jose. You have your identity where you show up and you do it the way that you've been doing it every single night. And that's your formula for every single game. And all of a sudden you have this identity, which is a word I've probably beat to death on this pod. Yeah. But it's just like, why do you think the Florida Panthers are who they are? Look at how they play. Does anyone hit the brakes at the friggin' red line and then take it back across and then get stripped and go? Nobody would ever dream of doing that. And the Leafs need to get that kind of stuff out of their game, develop that identity, and then they're good enough to win. I mean, everyone's believed for a long time. That's why these guys are still together, that these guys are good enough to do something special. It's just all those intangibles have not been accounted for.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long-form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.